consistently, and we will answer all of the questions in the chat, including if you're having any troubles hearing or seeing them. Because this mic is going in and out, so please.
It's unmuted. They can hear, they should be able to hear it now.
All right, you can start the.
Okay. Can you put the mic on? On the projector? It's just music.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the folks in the room. They realize I was blind in their views. All right, next up, we're going to have a presentation from our very own board member, Ms. Deborah Wolford. She's going to be speaking about Women's Equity Day. How is this for you all in the back of the room? Are we able to hear okay? All right. If you just joined us in the room, please help yourself to a beverage. But be gentle about it. These folks online don't have anything to do. I don't need that. Hey family, good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Deborah Wolford, and I wear many, many hats in this community. It's hybrid. But the most things that I'm looking at.
It's coming from the projector.
There, perfect. There you go. You good? Yeah. That's it. Just so I would do. I just have a few moments to talk to you briefly about Women Equity Day. For those who do not know, women were not given the right to vote until August 18th of 1920, which was not very long ago. We look at it in the scheme of life. And for African American women in particular, we weren't allowed to vote until 1965. That is so sad, folks, that we had to wait that long for our rights. And it's another thing I just want to point out as we talk about equity for women. Sorry, this is technology. We good? Okay. Again, my mission tonight is to keep you encouraged, to keep you motivated, to help you carry on the legacy that our ancestors did so long ago. I'm here to encourage you. In spite of what's going on in DC right now, we still have a strong voice in voting. Please do not let those who went on before us die in vain. That is our legacy that we must be on to our young adults. I know it's hard in this age for women to believe that they have value, but it's a social work. I'm here to tell you, you have value, ladies. We represent many entities in our lives. We are mothers, we're sisters, we're wives, we're support system. And although you don't get the equal pay, because we don't, even in 2025. Women are not equal to men in some societies, not just the United States. But again, I'm here, my mission today is to encourage you as women, particularly as women of color, to understand that it's still your right. You have the right to be respected. You have the right to vote, and you have the right to be heard. And that is so important now, that when we as a people come together and understand that someone greater than us is in charge, things are going to work out. And again, we've come, if they say we've come a long way, baby, but we have a long way to go, because we are still not equal in so many arenas. So again, I'm here to encourage you to understand that our rights didn't come into existence until 1920. And for people of color, the right to vote did not come until 1965. And we have elected officials in this room today who help you to understand more about why it's important for you to register, be educated, more importantly, to get out and vote. You know, midterms is coming up soon, and we're just starting the campaign now. Because we don't want you to forget that if your vote do not matter, why are they working so hard to change the laws? Why are they working so hard to do redistricting? Something matters to them, and your vote is what matters. So that's why they're trying to take it away from you. As a woman, as a person of color. Thank you. Next 2 minutes? That's perfect. That is perfect. It was a perfect number of minutes. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Shut up. Okay, so for those who come up here, this is your mark. Back, right, square. Okay, folks online, I'm going to check in. Serena, there are questions online that we need to address? All right, perfect. So I'm going to take a little pause and acknowledge any of our elected officials that are in the room. Are there any elected officials in the room? Anyone? Delegates? Hey, sir, would you like to say a few words? Okay. And if there are any elected officials online, please make yourself known. I swear.
Gotta hit the mark, gotta hit the mark. No, I just wanted to say good evening, everybody. I'm Delegate Sean Aiston. You know, for those that don't know me, that I was appointed by the governor in February, got sworn in March. The reason why was, you know, I got appointed because of the vacated position that now Senator Dayar had used to be the delegate, and now she's the senator. So it gave me an opportunity to put my name forward and actually get selected by the state secretary. But I'm here, you know, I'm still the president of my own community association, West Arlington. So what affects in this, you know, regional area affects in my neighborhood as well. So I'm here to really listen, not really here to really talk about myself, my campaign. However, I just want to make sure that I can, whatever information here, I can take back to my community and let everybody know as well. So thank you. Absolutely.
Next up, we're going to have a presentation by the Department of Transportation. I was trying to look at them nonchalantly.
Let me in the room from my phone. I'm in the wait room.
Perfect.
So I can show the president.
Hello, my name is David Scott. Your committee liaison. I'm with the Lotus tonight. I'm here in Acton for Sim. We're going to introduce the bank to everyone to talk about a little bit of things. Did you have any questions? I'm here to be that. Got it. Just stand on that back squares.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you all for having us here today to present an upgrade you're doing with the restrike of the project. And I'm just very thankful to be here tonight.
It's kind of cool.
Sorry.
You ready to go to the next one?
Does it, is it asking you to share? I'm sharing my screen now. Is it showing that I want to share my
It
screen?
says you're sharing. Okay.
No. Give us 1 second. It's not connected to the projector screen. I'm sorry. I have to, it has to be emailed to go up.
Technical difficulty, just give us a second. We recorded serious and we have that.
Well, but wait, I have a question. Can I ask a question? Okay. Where are we with the synchronization of lights, traffic lights? That's something. Throughout the. Oh, thank you. I'll send it out. I'm talking about throughout Baltimore City. There was something that was put out a little while ago about the synchronization of the lights, looking at some of the old lights that go to maybe 2 blocks away, that'll turn red rather than being synchronized with light before that. So I wanted to know if we have any information about that.
Can you hear me now? Okay, here we go. So when it comes to the synchronization, you have to specifically put in an intersection for them to address it, because to address it holistically, that is a capital project that we understand that the city has old antiquated lights, correct? So if there is an actual issue in an intersection or a set of intersections, if you put in a 311 request, they will review it and they will proceed with making sure the lights are synchronized correctly. Is there any other DOT general questions that we have while we wait on the PowerPoint? I don't think she saw your hand. Gotta put it back up again.
My name is Christian. I was just wondering, like, what's the initiatives going on, like, for instance of making our town like more walkable for people, and more safe specifically. Because for instance, you mentioned 311 and my own mom, like she tried to call 311 to get like speed humps in the street that she lives in because like there's just cars flying. So like are there any initiatives doing that?
Got it. So,
Oh, did you have another one? Where's Susan? Where's Susan? Yeah, sorry.
to answer your question about speed hump, so the Department of Transportation has recently changed how you request speed humps in your neighborhood, because we were overwhelmed, overflowed with speed humps. Because everybody feels like that's the best way to slow down the traffic in your neighborhood, right? So I'm going to be transparent with you and say that now putting in a 311 request is calling traffic calming. And now they're looking at all different ways that they can take the traffic down in your neighborhood, either through flex poles, this way of maneuvering the traffic, the speed limit, or even this whole thing. It's another form of speed humps too that they add that they are giving people now too. So ask her to put the request back in for a traffic calming in her specific neighborhood and have it addressed that way. And if she lives in this neighborhood, her liaison is three months. And I can give you his email, and after she put the 311 request and she can send it to him and he can help her follow up forward. You're welcome. And now we're gonna go back to this.
1 second, let me share it with the people.
Where she give out the people. There you
Yeah,
go. Right, all good?
yes. Okay, there we go. We are good. We are good.
So again, this kind of as a recap of the project. Recently, we resurfaced the road from Cold Spring Lane to Creek Park Drive, going south on Green Spring. So as part of that, we're doing a complete street review and discussing, you know, so the Green Spring, what could be upgraded or
Turn it up.
assessed to under that law. So part of that is basically Green Spring is a historic road. We have new laws that dictate how we design our roadways to be more multi-use. So that could be having more pedestrian space. It could be having different standard lane widths that once were acceptable based on something, and now we found are not really viable for daily usage. So it's kind of trying to find that alignment and just kind of making sure that the road is serving everyone in the community and not just letting people kind of pass through the community. Awesome. So just look at the current conditions, right? This is Green Spring. You have a parking lane. You have what we would call a traditional bike lane, 2 travel lanes, and then another parking lane. And this is just an aerial of that. So again, the parking, classic bike lane per se. The travel lanes, which we also know there's a bus route out to the piers, and then the parking on the residential side. So just looking also at the status of the road, there's a very high number of crashes. We had 87 from 2019 to 2023, and then 6 within the 2024 period. One thing we think might be contributing to that is the 13-foot southbound lane. So wider lanes generally allow for greater comfort, which allows for greater speed and can increase, crash severity, crash frequency, so on and so forth. So we want to right size those lanes. We also have, ADA access concerns, especially with the older sidewalks. There's a lot of obstacles in there. Sometimes there's little utility poles in the sidewalk. So trying to provide more space for people to move around the street without running into those obstacles or putting themselves in danger by entering the street. And sorry, go back real quick.
Go back.
Yeah. One more step. Oh, also just helping access the bus stops on the roadway. And then we do know that there were some existing traffic calming treatments existing there. So we have a pedestrian island by the Foxwell Apartments. Sometimes we do a painted median, so we're trying to kind of take up a little bit of the road space, but the median, and it's more forgiving with drivers. And then I see part of the lane area was also adding the plastic bike lanes. Next slide, please. So what are we looking to do with the roadway? Well, one is to right size lanes. In some ways we're doing that is we're looking to remove the only like way to make a multimodal path. So this is allowing people to walk. They could bike in it, scoot in it, take their wheelchair down in it, whatever they need to do with that area, they'll have that area. And again, that's kind of allow like more people and more varied uses use it. It allows people different ages to use it. And different abilities too. Something that we're looking to also do with that is to put in bus bulbs. So bus bulbs are shown here in the bottom right of the screen, and this is essentially an extension of the curb that allows you to come up to the bus stay in the travel lane and come to you. And this helps us kind of with the speed of 40 because the bus doesn't have to swerve in and out of traffic. And also with safety too, because whenever you're changing lanes, people can get into crashes. So the MTA released a recent study and found that this increased bus time by 7%, decreased crashes with buses by about 12%. So, they are seeing improvements with these installations. And then we're also just looking at the general configuration of the road. So it can provide some of these upgrades. We've noticed that a lot of the northbound parking was underutilized. So we're going to look at reconfiguring the road and consolidating that to the southbound. So then we're going to add in the bus halls and the multi-use pathway. So this is just a section of the road with the measurements of what that would look like. So right, you have the
Right here.
Okay, yeah. So right, you have the pathway, you have the travel lanes, so which are now at 11 feet each. That's what's needed for a bus route. And then 8-foot parking, so there's actually in the buffer of the parking, so that just prevents cars from coming right up on you. As again. Did you actually?
Oh, go back one.
Yeah, and this is just an aerial of that screen, and then we don't really have the graphic images, but the green area would be the cross of the bus bulb and the path, so then you would come out into that and then into the bus directly. Okay, so the timeline. So this is our last round of public engagement, and we're going to be, taking in the input and hoping to finalize the design after a week after this meeting. Once the design is then finalized, we will look to install and spray by the end of September. So this is our community engagement page. There's a Streets of Baltimore page for those who can access online. You can also email dot-community@baltimorecity.gov and then put green screen restripe. And that email will go through our public engagement process. You can also leave questions on that Streets of Baltimore page too.
Yeah,
I can just say that.
can you go back to Robert, can you go back to those pages with the contact info for teachers? And then you just leave them open up for any questions.
Okay, let's take a few questions and also the caveat. As a caveat too, we'll be staying until the end of the meeting, so if you guys have more questions, you want to talk one-on-one, I'll be here. I've also brought some of our design drawings in case you want to go over things block by block, or I set things to a specific block. And then, yeah.
My name is Tony Gross, and I have a transportation provider in the city drive for Tiffany Jackson. And I'm the city, I think there's a lot of construction going on, but there's not resurfacing. Like for instance, there's a lot of things that's been done, but there's not resurfacing. So this going on with the city, most of the with the road and water is still not leaking up.
Okay.
To make sure that we're projecting the sound system. If they can't hear online. So when it comes to Adrian, sorry, you take the question.
Oh. So your question is, why is the street open often and not resurfaced, correct?
Why is, yes.
So to answer your question, when it comes to Baltimore City, that's a 3-agency attack. So there's BGE open in the street, there is DPW open in the street, and there is DOT open in the street.
depending on who has the permit that opens the street at that moment. And how long that project takes. We try to make it that if when one person opens the street, we do all the projects within that section, but right now as a city, we're not quite there yet. So maybe your street being open, resurface and then reopen it, because there are not any interagency collaboration when we're opening the street. But as DOT, we had now had region director, that is one of our missions to control it, where you open the street one time and you do all the work you need, and then when you resurface it, it's done at that one moment. So right now, if you have a street that has not been resurfaced in your community, you can always put in a 311 and we can answer your question on who had it permit, who did it, and where we are in that process.
Peace, how you doing? Now, you mentioned that there are new laws, affecting some of that design. Could you be more specific, I guess, as to what changes those laws put in place? Okay. You?
We can't hear your question on the line, so, sorry.
Oh, my bad. You mentioned.
There you go.
Okay. Hello?
Okay, Calvin, can you just come up? We can fix this quickly.
We'll just get in line.
Thank you.
It went out.
Peace, how you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
How you doing? You mentioned that there are new laws going into effect that, I guess influence some of the planning. Could you be more specific as to what the laws are put in place? Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want a quick question or?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I believe 2021, I have to check my date, there was a law passed for complete streets going. And part of what that does is yes, it impacts the planning process, and design, features, roadways. But it's interesting, like, hey, we have plus you have to, and we need to be more accommodating to that. So maybe the street is not wide enough, maybe it's not sized right. Adding in the bus stop, so the idea is kind of trying to change the plastic way that we approach road design, which is usually just throughput, and then considering more community aspects and engagement. Green spaces too, right? Trying to connect people to where they need to go, especially within the city versus just commuting in and out of the city.
So
Yes.
it's expanding beyond just travel, we're looking for holistically.
Yeah, that is the exact great way to put it, is trying to look at travel as more of just getting from, especially, out city to in city, but within the city and serving the communities that actually use those transit systems.
Got it. Thank you.
And in multiple different ways too. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Did you talk about the sound?
Uh,
Or the installation?
Yeah, so. I guess just around, so again, we have our, session today. We will be taking comment for about another week, so please email, go to the streets of Baltimore, and we're gonna keep finalizing our design. More realistically, early September, but our goal is, the end of August, and then we're gonna be looking at. At least adding the restriping and some of the basic features this September. The bus bulbs themselves are gonna take a longer time to do because we have the design and concrete work versus, pre-fabricated parts and paint. So those will be coming in closer to the fall of 2026. And in the interim, the bus stop will be kept accessible, so we'll just have to kind of mark the pathway a certain way to allow the buses to come in now.
Did you talk about material first?
So the material, yeah, the materials that we'll be using, so there's obviously, paint or thermoplastics. We'll have some flex posts, though we know that those are not the best solution, both in terms of like aesthetic, in terms of maintenance. So we'll be adding precast concrete parts, so these are kind of like pre-made curves. They can go into the facility, so this will hopefully provide less waste, because I'm sure as everyone has, they put the plastic sticks, they fall down, they get removed, so this is just trying to use those less and use more aesthetically pleasing features that are also safer for people using the pathway. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Well, I have a question, which I know you probably, not.
Oh, sorry.
Answer.
Susan, you need the microphone.
Hold on.
Sorry. Stole it for a second.
So, I know you probably don't know this answer, but I'm just kind of curious. And I'm curious in just in areas, particularly like my area here, Grove Park in between, Grove Park is like business area. There's a lot of sidewalks that you had mentioned before that they're light fixtures right in the middle of the sidewalk, and I've seen a number of occasions of pedestrians by way of wheelchair have to go in the flow of traffic, and of course, a lot of people, disregard that somebody's in a wheelchair because that's the only means as far as especially from Rogers to Northern Parkway on that left-hand side where there's a senior building on that side. It's impossible as far as for somebody to have a wheelchair going up and down that sidewalk safely, and they have to go into the traffic. And like I've seen cars just move recklessly as far as around, folks that's traveling by way of wheelchair, which is very dangerous.
I guess just to clarify the question, are you asking what we're doing about that, or what our conservations are?
Right. I'm sorry that I didn't necessarily specify the question, but I'm wondering as far as once you is DOT actually looking at other areas to make it more safe? Because I know that there was some conversations in regards to providing bike lanes, but to me, it's like, let's put that issue off to the side and let's provide a safe, more transient, area for people in wheelchairs and, make more of the area accessible and so forth. Instead of, accommodating the folks that really, I haven't seen really too many folks ride bikes around the Northwest area, especially up and down the Wabash corridor. But my thing is, to me, the priority should be, folks that are wheelchair bound and other have a challenging issue.
Yeah, I think that's a very significant issue. So I mean, part of the traffic, we do usually part of the curb installations and part of a resurface. What I can say is there is a separate department curb cuts that does focus on it. I do try to coordinate as much as possible. So usually when I'm in the fields and see like through on the lines. And my understanding is that they are going to the neighborhoods and they're evaluating behaviors where my urban needs are. They might even start with others, and they'll have to develop a project for that whole corridor, which I know. Again, we're doing mostly the striping, but we have other corridors where we've had to respond to an instance like where it's like we can't put in speed humps because of preventing, a place where people can get around by wheelchair to prevent them from doing that. So you have
I'm saying about speed bumps.
Yeah.
It can be expressed somehow.
No, yeah.
And Phil, I would love to, come out, like I said, I'm West Arlington, we have Grove Park right here, and here, Hilltop, these are a lot of areas that need to be addressed. I'm sorry if I'm talking.
No.
Thank
But like, so
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the approach to stay, if you guys send us. For the general, I know you were talking about specific, the general, could you send us, stuff, and I think. That's just bring one, and then if you want, maybe leave contact with you and they can always reach out with that thing. Yeah, so I'll leave my contact with the board here, and then you guys can always they can send it to me, and they'll have my direct contact as well. We'll just try to make sure it gets to the right place. No, thank you. I appreciate the questions.
That's all we do. So Ms. Darcy knows, Dr. Darcy knows I'm asking. So another question that came from the chat on the topic was, where you guys incorporate something for those using canes as well for the blind community. And just making it more accessible for those who are sight impaired.
Definitely noted. I can review our design and see if we can even add some more of those features where possible. A lot of that does get taken up with those curb cuts we were talking about earlier and adding the tactile services. Though I know that, you know, that's their minimum standard, so we can definitely look at our design and, you know, see where we can improve and incorporate that feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See, everybody was gentle, very demure. You know, one question.
What was the question? We can just repeat it, so we can move on. You are.
See, it's like, no, it's probably, like every, the school that the information. I noticed those alive.
The person in the room gave a tip that the scooters should be moved away. They are in the way sometimes. So can there be a plan put in place such that the scooters are quickly moved out of the way? He's taking notes. And there's a comment.
If you are having problems with scooters in your community, there you go. And we also have an e-rider planner. So there is a specific person that talks about the scooter riding or corrals, is what they call them, scooter corrals. And if they're having issues with them not being placed in your community or if there's too many. So your 311 request doesn't just go out into the atmosphere. There's actually one individual within our agency that looks at things like that. So if you're not getting the answer you need, you can always reach out to Troy and we will have a conversation about it personally about something that's happening within if you're not getting it through the group.
Going once, going twice. Any folks online with more questions for DOT? All right, you are free to move about through. Let's see what my hand. Next up, we will have a wellness presentation, and I'm looking for my wellness presenter. All right. Now, the rule is you have to stand in this back right corner square, so the folks online can hear you. I did not know Mr. Mayor would be doing the presentation. That's correct.
How everybody doing today? My name is Kiwi. I'm also known as the Park Heights Mayor. If you don't believe me, just ask out in the community. This is the executive director of the Northwest Wellness Project, so I just wanted to bring him in, right? I started this program in 2016 down in my neighborhood that I grew up in, on Shirley and Oswego. Started off just doing an cleaning initiative, but when I started learning yoga and mindfulness and became an instructor, I started teaching yoga and mindfulness to our youth in the community. Ultimately, last year we was able to launch our first successful summer camp at no cost for the parents, right? And this year we was able to do it again. So what we want to do is ensure that people know more about the work that we're doing, and that's what Calvin is going to expound on today.
Peace. Pleasure to be with you. So yeah, I'll be talking a little bit about the Northwest Wellness Project. We have been active, well, for quite some time, but the summer camp in particular has been active for the last 2 years in the Park Heights area of Wichita. Yep, okay. So our main objective is to, or one of our main objectives is to help redevelop the community through restorative practices, mentorship, and yoga. We aim long-term but generational learning and family inclusion. But right now, we're beginning with the youth, because of course, they are our future. We work with positive coping skills and community engagement. We can go to the next slide. So a few of our active programs currently. We just finished the second year of our summer camp that ran for 30 days this year in the Park Heights neighborhood. We do a combination of mindfulness and wellness. We take off every day with yoga. We lead into different social activities and activities designed to stimulate their minds, and help them have a better understanding of their community, of themselves, and social skills. We also did a heavy focus on learning gardening skills and learning how they can care for their own neighborhood. That played right into our Divine Garden Beautification Project, which we were able to get done in partnership with Divine Counseling. But that is right there on Park Heights and Shirley. If anybody has seen it or wants to drive by and take a look. We were able to begin transforming that space right there. We planted several. We planted several plants for beautification purposes and also for food production purposes. Especially, thinking about food insecurities and things like that. The youth participated in that project. They planted a lot of those plants. They helped us load and move the dirt. They even helped us decide what's gonna go where and how it was gonna look. So that, they can feel like they're a part of that work and a part of their community. We also had them helping with cleaning projects and learning the importance of that. Again, so that we can be more responsible stewards of the spaces that we inhabit. We also did several community events and give back. Let's just have one earlier today. Where we provide different resources, whether it be clothing or food, or we recently gave out some watermelons, things like that, just trying to provide additional support to the youth and to their families. We also take them on different field trips so they can understand other organizations and things around the city, how to navigate, and just having more fulfilling experience during their summer. Again, we also focused on yoga and mindfulness, and that was an element that was popular not only just with the youth, but also with the community as a whole. We did a lot of our programming out in the community at large. We did not spend all of our time in the building or in the classroom. We wanted them to be in their neighborhoods, getting their hands dirty, so to speak, and really be able to connect with their community and with the people around them. So while we were doing that, the community took a large interest in the yoga and mindfulness aspects, and so they were able to participate as well. Next. Yes, please. As far as the team, you guys just met Brother Kiwi. He brought me into that program. I have been with them for 2 years now. I also am a avid advocate of the community. I've been working as a community health worker prior to that in the mental health space as well. So we met over our mutual interest in the community. And I joined for the summer camp last year, seeing the work that was going on, and I had to stay aboard. This year, I was blessed with the opportunity to serve as executive director of that organization. To step in and just try to do my best to build supportive partnerships, facilitate the program in any way I could, and help ease his load doing something so wonderful for the community. We also had Miss Amber Barnes, who is not with us right now. She was another blessing to the program that cannot be understated. Helping to speak life into not only the children, but also again the staff and the community. And keep us balanced. She also is a wellness facilitator. And she was able to provide some different aspects of wellness, such as sound therapy, which uses different tones and frequencies to help calm the mind and keep you recentered and balanced. Um, Beyond just the team here, we also did work with a number of other local organizations, including Creative City Charter School, including the local rec center, which allows us to use that school for different activities. And we also did a lot in partnership with the Park Heights Plantation. They helped us with the gardening aspects, with teaching different skills, and with just supporting the program as a whole, because everything that we have done so far, has been through y'all's support, through donations straight from the community and a few organizations, and that's been a vital part in keeping us going. So, you wanna add anything? Cool. So, program impact and outcome. I talked a little bit about what we're doing, but what effect is that? That matters as well. We're helping them again develop social skills, how to follow directions, how to listen, how to communicate with each other effectively, how to deal with conflict when it does arise. We learned gardening and harvesting. They were able to plant, maintain, and grow local produce right there in their own neighborhood. Plant identification. In addition to the plants that they grew, they were also learning just about the different varieties, about how they can be used, about how you can make tea or a drink from one plant, and make medicine from another plant. You can get food from another plant. And that wasn't just something they learned, it's something they experienced. Even some of the things that we grew, we used to prepare their lunch for them while they were there. We also dealt with emotional control and mindfulness. Of course, working with youth, we want to help prepare them to go back into the school year and be more successful. So we dealt again with just handling different adverse situations. We work with expressing themselves, with being in touch with their feelings, different ways to slow down and breathe and just process things. And again, there was a heavy wellness focus. We did do yoga and meditation every single day of the program. And by pouring into them, we're able to pour into the community where we left those spaces that we were in, clean them every single day by day, week by week. You can see that progress build. You can see the mindfulness build where if I could be with the kids one day and I go to sit my bottle down and they point me out like, hey, you gonna be there now? And I'm like, oh, you got me. Perfect. The beautification project, of course. It's one thing to look at just a dry, plain building. It's another to see color and, hear the sounds of the children and, the different smells and everything. And just to be able to experience that makes them more happy to share that space, makes them care about it more, makes them excited to want more of it. We also were working to get family involvement because as you change the attitude to the youth, even some of their family members who may have started more closed off, just seeing that kid come home again week after week with new skills, with new things to talk about. It got some of the family interested. There were days where we had family come out and ask us, can we sit in for today? Can we participate in the yoga? Do you mind us coming home on the trip? And that's exactly what we want. We want again to help heal the community and heal families as a whole. And increase hope and optimism. You gotta believe in change before you can achieve it. So, as we showed them what was possible, and they begin to really believe in themselves and let out all the creative thoughts that they really had, that empowers us to do more in those spaces. And at least right into creating new opportunities because we want to build on the foundation that we set. We are forming lasting bonds, even though we are operating a summer camp. The work does not end when the summer ends. We're still making sure to try to create, again, public events, check in with some of the schools, be in touch with these youth and make sure that we're understanding what they're facing on a day-to-day basis or, month to month, so that they can be better prepared. They can have outlets and safe spaces that they can come to when they're not in school. And we can prepare ourselves to pour into them even more the following summer. And that takes us right to the future of Northwest Wellness. Our biggest and most important goal right now is raising more funds and resources. Again, everything that we did was powered by the community. However, there's more that we wish to do that we have to get the proper resources to do. That includes expanding on our beautification work, being able to build those storage there so that we can have more tools and things to use for those projects and know that we're safe in the community. That means being able to do more trips and to connect them better to that community and even outside of that community, give them new experiences. And even when we can, we try to pour directly into them. Sometimes we can do gift cards or small gifts for students who were especially engaged or just went above and beyond, what we were even trying to achieve. We also wish to develop some year-round services, which again would require a larger level of investment. We don't want to touch them just for 30 days in the summer, because there's a lot of time and a lot of other environments they can be in, and a lot of other influences that will factor in. And the more we can stay involved in their lives, the more we can help to keep them on the right path and to be there to address issues as soon as they arrive. As opposed to we find out something, the next summer, when they already had a problem in school or had a transfer or anything of that nature. And also that helps us expand on our program and those projects and take them beyond just that space into other spaces in the neighborhood and eventually into other areas of the city. Again, the Divine Garden is our main beautification project at the moment, but we have identified several other areas within that community that could benefit from a little bit of cleaning up, from a little bit more investment, a little bit more attention. And we would love to be the people to do that. But again, we have to build ourselves up and make sure we have that capacity. But that's pretty much.
Let me get a round of applause for Brother Stalin. Which everything that the TV, right? I used to be scared, like, no. We handled the whole thing. I just want to emphasize. I just want to emphasize, right? I'm going to church, y'all, right? If you ever drove down Shirley Avenue, which now sucks the main streets of Park Heights, right? It didn't look like how it looked like right now, right? That does not happen overnight, but our program has proved it. You don't believe it? The only thing you're gonna see is guys like Safe Streets or older guys. That's their area. There's a bar right there, the guys gonna chill a little bit, right? But it has been a shooting down here in 2 years, right? And I had never went for money for the beginning of this program. This is the first 2 years that I'm actually trying to fundraise. We are an LLC, but we do community programming. So if you are a community member in Park Heights or business, don't just look at us. Please work with us.
We need that information.
Sorry about that. If you check out our website, that is www.northwestwellnessparty.com. There is a GoFundMe link and a QR code right on that website. You can also find us through social media if that's easier at Northwest_Wellness_project. Or you can get one of our phones or emails and you can reach out to us directly. But like you mentioned, we will be creating a new GoFundMe as well and trying to share what resources we need, and even if it's not monetary, if you know a connection to help us get, a certain resource or space or anything like that, it's about serving a need.
Folks online that you've gotten all kinds of hearts and thumbs up, and kudos for the work you guys are already doing. No questions? I think folks know who you are.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted your contact info, so you can give me,
Northwest Limbs.
just send me a check, tell them and I can add it.
Thank you. So next up, we're gonna change the rhythm of the room a little bit. I need Paulette Davis, Devron Ward, Tavon Wilson Senior, and my lady, whose name I forgot, but she represents Island Food Market. And she will tell you her name. Come on up to the front. Take your seat. Sharitha McQueen of Island Food Market, and we're going to do what's called a chat. So tune in. We're going to make sure the folks online can see everybody. Okay, folks online, can you see all the people? There are 4 people. You don't need to see me. I'm just going to ask the questions. All right. Okay, perfect. So after this presentation, there will be an opportunity for us to, freshen up a bit. There's still more food, so no worries. All right. So, thank you all for joining us. These 4 persons represent 4 Black businesses in Park Heights. There are many more, but August, amongst other things, is Black Business Awareness Month. These 4 groups were chosen because it was an idea to have partner businesses. One is next door to the other, and one is next door to the other. So I've already let them know what the questions are. You all also may have some questions, but the main thing that I want to get across, because I patronize each of these businesses, they do great work, and we want to make sure that you all know the great work that they do. And just so you know, in case they don't say it themselves, each of them is represented in the back of the room. The food that you ate is from one of these persons here. There's a presentation with T-shirts and other paraphernalia from one of these persons here. There are beverages from one of these persons here, and there are also snacks from one of these persons here. Now, I've given you a little teaser, so I'll let them tell you who they are. And their first question is who they are, how they came up with their business, and why they came up with their business, and how they came up with the name.
Hello again. Thank you guys so much for having us. My name is Shanika McLean. I'm a representative for Island Food Market. So to let you know why we started, I have to go back into the history. Island Food Market actually started as West Indian Imports in 1987. And it was created because there was a lot of immigrants who came here from the islands. And when they went to your typical grocery stores, whether that was a Walmart or a Giant or a Safeway or what have you, they didn't really find their products on the shelves. They would love to be able to cook their traditional cuisines at home. And so that's where the idea of West Indian imports came, where you didn't have to travel. A lot of people were traveling to New York or having their family members from the islands carrying stuff. And that's long time. It's a hassle. So that's where it started. And that was until 2005, where it was up for sale. And my parents, Lenny and Veronica McLean, actually took it over and rebranded it as a food market to still represent the islands. And I remember actually going to West Indian Imports as a young child, and I was able to have typical Jamaican cuisines every day in my house to help keep me rooted to my culture. So I think that's the importance and why we started and why we chose the food market to be representative of the entire Caribbean islands, to be able to provide that for the former city community here.
I was raised in administration. My name's Tavon Wilson. My business is called At the Bag LLC. What I do is customize apparel, also manufacturing for other people. So I'll produce T-shirts, clothing, tags, you name it, stickers, these types of things for multiple businesses throughout not just the Park Heights community, but for the city of Baltimore. and Northern Maryland, I guess that will be. But at the end of the day, the business was titled at the bag from an idea that my brother and I had with trying to become a business where multiple businesses could come under one roof. So at the bag, BAG is Baltimore Asset Group. And so our initial idea was to give many different businesses or many different types of businesses that one roof where they could bring their product and would have the opportunity to sell. So sort of a pop-up shop. This has been an idea for quite a long time. Just stuck with it. And in the meanwhile, I also have a clothing line that I sell initially at the bag, which is called Duke Boys Apparel. Duke Boys Apparel, DUK, is Deem Yourself King. That name comes from my initial movement of that name was to address the idea of us calling ourselves the N-word and us embracing the N-word. So to get rid of the N-word and to address that being a term of endearment, I came up with a line that would let you know to claim the value of who you actually are. That's what Deem Yourself King is all about. It's raising the pride of you, actually on you. And it's a forward message. It's not something that I'm saying that I am. I'm not saying that I am king. I don't need you to claim that for me, but I need you to deem yourself king. And because of that, I would say I got assaulted by the women because I didn't have a deem yourself queen line. So that's how deem yourself queen was also created. But the pride that I have in being a Black American, the pride that I have in being a Black businessman, would be wasted if I did not use it to also embrace and raise the joy and pride in my own community. So the shirt that you see that I'm wearing today states he ain't heavy, he's my family. And the word family is spelled with PH. And I've done that to several different words that is spelled with the letter F. For example, we're the finest, PH, we're the flyest, PH. And these are just designs that I've come up with to literally just keep the pride of us on us and let people know that, you know, when you're representing in this way, when you go out of town, you should already know. And now that we have the Park Heights truck being such a thing, if they just hear the words Park Heights, it just lets people know exactly where you are and where you're from. So I'm gonna move on to Deron from here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Deveron Wood. I represent Jumping Out the Pond. And my house is a family business. I work my mother in this business. My kids work, my lady work. We all work together with this business. Opened this business in 2017. The reason I started the business so my kids can have some work. And I come from a cooking family. My first job was at a pit beef stand. So actually, I was already cooking. So when I decided to open something myself, I wanted to do something at my house too. So I established Jumping Off the Pot 2017. We've been running with it ever since.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Davis. My Park Cafe, and that's 5318 and a half Park Heights Avenue, just across from Lily. Owned that restaurant since 2015. And first we started out, it was originally the most famous Jamaican bakery around here. And everybody would know it for the pies and the sweet and all that good stuff. So the lady, I purchased it from her and I decided to say, okay, I was gonna do some restaurant business there. But after being there for like 3 years, I realized that this is not what it's supposed to do. So I did my research and look around and I realized that's what's missing in Park Heights. We needed a cafe. We needed a cafe. We needed our own Starbucks. We needed a place where we can go and get our own pies and latte and all that great stuff. So me and my daughter decided that we're gonna use it as a Park Heights cafe. And it's been great since community been more than happy to see us. Everyone stopped by to see us and, it's been a great challenge, but nevertheless, we are here and, encourage each and every one, tell a friend, tell a friend. We have samples in the back, you know, come on, share the good news. We're the cafe are here to stay. So come on over, tell a friend, tag someone, share, like, come on over. You can come over and have your meetings, you know, a private meeting, whatever you name it, just come on over. We are there for you. Thank you.
By a show of hands and folks online, how many of you have heard of these businesses? Okay, that's quite a few. And online, I'm looking for thumbs up. So that means it's a great opportunity for them to be here. Now, the next question I want each of them to answer is, what challenges have you faced as a Black business?
That's a great question. And when I posted to my parents and we started discussing about it, I think the biggest challenge that they face is being able to balance, as a small business, you spend a lot of time, you know, upkeeping and growing your business. And I think the biggest challenge that they've had is just finding that balance between family, friends, and the business. And it's not to say that it's a bad thing. I think for my siblings and I, we being in that store and working there during the summers and seeing how hard our parents work, we didn't really see it as, you know, them missing out on family time or social time. We saw it as hard work that then translated into us, and that's hard work that we have continued into today. And I think having a business and having a business as a family is a great thing, especially in the Black community, to see your parents go out and do something hard to overcome challenges. I've seen the challenges that they've had. I've seen, you know, them racking their brains sometimes, okay, what products can we bring in and how is that going to better help, you know, this general Caribbean, but also general community in the Parkhead area. But I think for that, that has just shown us, and I think shows the community what hard work and dedication can do, and that if they can do it, you can do it too. And so it's a challenge, but I think that challenge is also something that, even though they see this challenge as like a blessing and a lesson for us as well. So I thought it was interesting that they brought that up. But yeah, I think, you know, you spend a lot of time trying to be there for your business, because when people come down there, they want to see. So they try to always make sure that they're the face that you see when they're down there.
So, challenge. In the entrepreneurial life, challenges are plenty. And I would say some of them would stem from top to bottom when you're dealing with, unfortunately, in our communities, there aren't a lot of properties that we have a chance to own. So we're dealing with landlords that may not be up to par. We know them as slumlords. I'm a rip the Band-Aid off kind of guy, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like these, you know, there's no challenges outside of getting ownership of these buildings. No, it's not true. We want to own our own properties in our own communities, or have owners in the community, that if you look around yourself, you don't see them here. So that type of representation is something that I look at as a challenge. Being respected in our communities, and treated properly based on the value of our product. That's a challenge. But the reality of it all, and the reason I bring this up is because we put forth all of our heart. And I would think that even as your parents being involved in the business, when you're involved, here's this too, when you're involved in anything and you put your all into it, there's no value that you can tell me it's worth. I'm putting forth all of my all into it. And so that challenge is to always be good enough for you, but I have no idea what you want until you come to it. So my challenge is just for me to be the best representative of my business, of my community, somebody that, you know, people can come to my store and be proud to purchase something. And also being a Black-owned business. And that's just one of those things where you get that stigma from people that, you know, just want to give Black-owned businesses that stigma. That's a challenge as well. But we overcome those. I mean, I think we're all here as a member of Success about that. We overcome those challenges and we're here and we're not going anywhere.
Say one of my biggest challenges in business was learning the fact that people that you've been knowing your whole life, they're not going to give you the support that you need to keep your doors open. Support that I get to keep my doors open really come from strangers and people that I met through the vision. And I had to learn not to take it personal because it's not just me. It's any entrepreneur you can ask for. Almost anyone that I had to say the same thing. 75 to 80% of that support comes from people that they met through the business, not the people that they've been on their whole lives. I had to readjust to that and understand that it's not personal. I guess it's just a mindset that people have. And that's just how people carry their business, but I had to get over that. Another obstacle was being a Black-owned business. A lot of people lowball, and they don't respect the work. They'll take and give. You say a spot like Jimmy's Cafe. I'm just using that for an example. They won't question their numbers, but your numbers will be questioned to the team. And it's a lot of people. It's not some people, it's most people. They don't respect the Black business. And it be our own people and others. But they was two of the biggest challenges I had to overcome. But I learned to embrace them. We're getting over it. I'm learning every day with it.
Real talk. One of the greatest challenges I feel, I've been in business, doing business at least 45 years in the DC area. I'm from DC to back here in Baltimore. And one of my greatest challenges I feel over there, I owned the building, so it was easy. So BG&E, I like that. Those are my biggest challenges. I mean, it's unpredictable. I even have to try to turn off everything and see what happens. The bill. No joke. Turn off everything. The bill's still high. And it's just constantly, you know, I mean, it's just constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That is my biggest challenge. But God is real. And I work through it, and I find a way. And some of the stuff I can't pay to do because, you know, I just got paid BG&E. So I just Google it and start doing my job to cut the cost back. But all that is over. We're on a new path now. We're about to get some great help from the mayor, from the city, from Park Height Renaissance, and all these beautiful help are coming through. So hopefully it's full steam ahead. All we need is support, collaboration, and come on. Thank you.
So we're going to get to the last question, and that's also going to give them an opportunity to share with you all their address and contact information, because we all want to go to these businesses. But what I would like to highlight is a lot of these businesses, even though they face many challenges, financial and otherwise, they have been great stewards of their communities. There's one business in particular I'd like to highlight first, in that the shirt was created by At the Bag. My colleague over there has one too. They do great screen printing work. So they have a table in the back. And my friend over there, she has on the Leave Yourself Queen t-shirt too. Great work. Another business I'd like to highlight real quick before we get to the last question is Devron Ward. And preparing for this meeting, I learned that on any given month, he's giving away hundreds of food products, hot dogs, hamburgers for back to school events. He's even had people come to the store for a back to school barbecue. He's also had people come to the store partnering with other businesses like the Park Heights Barbershop for haircuts, where they also do what? They feed the people. Last summer, he had 50 days for 50 lunches. So 50 kids every day for 50 days were able to have food to eat. He's had insurance workshops at his business. And he would never tell you this, but I'm very nosy. So I had to pull it out of them. And I'm certain the other businesses do many philanthropic works as well. So when you see them in their store, they are also supporting others, and they're not trying to get any of the limelight. So the last question, I would like for you to share the address of your location and what was the last question? It was, why should people support your business?
So we are located at 5318 Park Heights Avenue. Our phone number is 410-664-1818. And the reason why I think you guys or anyone should support our food market, we have been there as a food market for 20 years, but as a Caribbean market for 30 plus years. And not only are we Black owned, but we are Caribbean owned. I think the one thing I've noticed, even when I travel, when I go into other Caribbean stores, I don't see the owners, and two, I don't see anyone who works there who's of that descent or, who looks like me, basically is what I'm saying. And so when you go into Island Food Market, you are greeted by the owners, you're greeted by those who work there. When you are someone who comes in there and you don't know how to create a dish, let's say most famous like oxtail, curry goat, my parents are always there. When I've been witnessed them while working there, giving people recipes step by step, and even saying like, hey, call back. I've seen people call the number and saying like, this went wrong, and then like problems with the customers. They greet you by name, and you're invited into this warm environment. And not only that, when you walk into the store on the plexiglass, directly to the left, you can see programs of funerals and events. Because we're not just there as a business, we're there to support our customers. If you've been to funerals of our own customers and funerals of family members of customers, any events that they have, we promote that. We go and show support to our community. So you guys pour into us and we pour into you. And there's so many things that we have to offer. And I think that it's important to not just support me, our business, but all the businesses up here, because we have so much to provide for the Baltimore City community. And I feel like there's so much more that we're doing that we are doing. We listen to our customers and try to, like, if they have products that they want, we go out of our way to make sure, like, as long as it makes sense, to put it on our shelves, to make sure that we're making our customers happy. And I think that's one thing about my parents. They do go above and beyond to make sure that they are providing a community, Caribbean-like feel environment when you walk into that store. And it's not just, for your Caribbeans, for anybody who wants to come in and maybe want to try spice, you're not sure. Anybody is there to welcome you and to answer any of your questions. So I think that's one thing. And in the back, we have samples different drinks that are popular in the Caribbean islands. Butter cheese, which is a popular snack breakfast. You can eat it as many of these some of the day. It's a sweet and savory dish. A lot of times you eat it around Easter, but I feel like it would be nice to have it right now. And plantain chips, I guess I could compare it to like potato chips instead of fried potatoes, fried plantains, deep fried green plantains, and some ginger chews and some contact information. But I think it'll be really nice to see you all down there. And we have coupons for anybody who is in the room here that you can use down at Malibu Market. We would love to see you.
3609 West Rogers Avenue, 3609 West Rogers Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, Park Heights, Maryland, 21215. It's done. But my 1-5 community means a whole lot to me. I put a whole lot of pride into this community. One thing about why you should come and shop with me is we give back. You shop, you spend your money many of places that don't give a darn about your community. And we literally are here stating how we give back. And whether it be back to school drives, whether it be as my and it's not just a friend, as you hear me stuttering, because it's not just I was ready to say my friend, not just a friend, so it's a brother. And we met through business. We didn't meet through growing up together and doing somersaults on mattresses. Yes, I'm that old. But we met through business and literally grew our relationship through business. And at this point, this is my brother. And I've watched some of the things that he's done. He's seen some of the things that I've done. And as Janelle said, you would never hear about it unless you were part of it. But we give back. We literally care about this community. There's many of other communities where we could have taken our businesses to. But Park Heights just happens to be one that has my heart and my soul. I grew up here, born and raised all 50 years of my life. Also, been here so long that I bought my first property here. I could have moved, but literally 21215 has a hold on me. Some people would say that that's kind of crazy, but at the end of the day, I'm free. And I love my freedom and I love my community. And I'm gonna literally stay here and make sure that my community, as much as I took away from it in my younger years, that I'm gonna build it back up as strong and with as much love and as much passion as I can bring to the table. So why shop with me? Because I'm gonna take care of you. Period.
What's the back?
Oh, sorry. So what I decided to do today, because you guys are all any Park Heights people here, you're my family. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to give away some family t-shirts today. I have about 25 t-shirts back there that I'm going to pass out.
My store is at 3605 West Rogers Avenue, 21215. Reason I would say a person should shop with me is because I try to give you downtown experience, downtown quality food. Versus everything we make, except our size, we make it to order. It's nothing sitting around, nothing laying around. When you make the order it, we make it. We don't take no shortcuts in what we do. So come to my store, you'll be getting what you paid for. And it's a family business. Like I say, we get back to the community. We won't stop. Last year, on Thanksgiving Day, we fed 560 people, between 560, 580, something like that. It was the first annual Margie Sue community give back. We'll be doing it again this year at Langston Hughes. So spending money with us is upbringing the community too, because the more money I get, the more money I can put to the community.
The Park Cafe. The location is 5318 and a half Park Heights Avenue, Baltimore 21215. We're just next door to Mr. Lenny. He's not only my neighbor, he's my great friend. You get to the Park Heights Cafe. I would like you to treat it like your home. You know, it's a lot of work, a lot of energy put in that building. A lot of effort for myself and my family put in that business to make it be what it is. You can have your meetings in there. You can, we offer you a very fair price on the product without going market and turf and all kind of stuff. But we offer you a fair good price. You can come out in the morning time, get your coffee, get your sandwich, and you shop with us. You'd be happy. If I leave DC in the morning, I come over here. Trust me, I have to get a sandwich. It's that good. So I would like you to tell a friend, and come out and share and come to Park Heights Cafe. It's our Park Heights Cafe. Okay, thank you. In the back, we have free sample of coffee, tea, pastry, but everything you think the Starbucks have is back here. Right here at Park Heights. Everything you think is right back there. And we also have Blue Mountain coffee. That's a Jamaican coffee. Yeah, real stuff. Thank you so much. Every job of business is in hand. Yeah. Just
The Starbucks have delicious Finnish pies or beef patties. Oh, but do you?
We have.
I'm so excited to get So there's some questions in the chat? No questions in the chat?
No. There are comments in the chat. The Spanish patties are delicious. Hard coffee. Thanks for putting the business name. Sorry. I'm reading real time. There's been a request for an email connection to interview some of these businesses on another platform from another community organization. Someone said they were just at the Island Market 2 weeks ago for pumpkin spices, bonito, yams, and everyone was so kind to them. Then went next door and had a tea and patty at Park Coffee, great shops. Folks saying that they shopped at Island Market for many years, so just wanted to incorporate some of that into the comments that are coming from the chat. You guys are definitely known and loved. Thank you.
So the next portion of our program are community events. But I'd be remiss without asking, are there any questions in the room? We have this. No question. She is showing the love. Susan, she wants to show the love. She's coming to you so you can share the love. Hi. It was working, now it's working.
Today, and we don't have. Very well, the aspect, everything they get from the cookies and with the market, I've been there, I've been there all my life. I've always come there and I get a lot of my products still. So it was, jumping my time, today, I've been following them and I support them with all my love. And I just want to let you guys know, I will always be there and just want to appreciate it.
Just wanted to make a comment about the cafe. We're excited to have it in Park Heights. And we've had, several meetings there. I've been there with several different groups meeting. And, I remember the first time I was there, Yolanda Jickett, there was a number of us having an interview about the Pimlico, with, I don't know if it was ESPN. So it's a quaint shop. Not only have I purchased coffee in Danish, but also little kettle. And so they have some little nice trinkets there. You should check it out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So first I just want to say congratulations to all the kings and definitely the queen up there. My name is Pamela Curtis. I am the new director for community and merchant engagement for State Senator Dalvin Axar. Born in Park Heights and still live in Park Heights. You know, Tavon, that zone 21215 is near to me. Okay.
So what I will say, so this is personal, but I just want to say to the young lady right there,
Miss Queen.
yes,
Absolutely. I had a health
care. I had a health
Yeah.
care
and
I was told to go to. And I'm holding back tears. Because
people just see me
and working and they
Appreciate payment.
and they told me to buy some soursop. Soursop, y'all. Soursop. And when I went back to Sinai Hospital to my doctor, my cancer test was negative. We can't look at everywhere else. We can't find all of these types of man-made medications. What we need is right in our own community.
Amen.
Home. Home. So yes, so please continue to support them that he have made shirts for me. And I am extremely proud of everyone up there. Because it's us supporting us. So it's us needing to stop to, back, projecting jealousy and envy. The devil is a liar. This is us in here. So yeah, so thank you, because I will say that woman saved my life. She led me into the right direction, and then she came from behind and told me which stop to get, down to what to look for and everything. The feels of them. Oh, okay. So yes, she told me to take that for like 7 to 10 straight days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I am jogging again. I'm healthy. Everything is negative. I'm just, when I take, I feel like I'm glowing. So yes, so thank you, y'all. Please support these businesses up here. Seriously.
I didn't think yes. You load up on the sour sock. I think we're coming. I think. One of the questions online was, please state your hours of operation. Please state your hours of operation. So real quick, your hours of operation. Then we're gonna go into the community updates. But just to let you know that delicious food that Deborah and Jumping Off the Pot provided earlier, there's still a lot left. So we're gonna open up the gate. Please get the samples in the back. Do you have sour with you tonight? So you have to go to the store. So they're going to share their hours. Also, our community meeting is being recorded, so you can find it on YouTube. If you wanted to scroll back, if there was something that you didn't hear, you want to share with someone else, you can find the community meeting on our YouTube channel. And we'll be sure to share out their information as well, the businesses. Hours of operation.
All right, so I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your testimony. That was beautiful. I praise God for your healing. And just a caveat to that is that we have a lot of other medicinal things that we sell, such as like black seed oil, bitters. There's so many things I think it's important, especially in the Black and Caribbean community, or just Black community in general, that we take care of our health directly, and we have so many things that can treat chronic conditions. My parents are big on health and wellness. So if you need something, especially like soursop, we've seen so many cancer patients come in and literally have gone from like stage 4 to stage 2 with that. So it is serious, and we take it serious to get back to you all. So our hours of celebrations on Sundays is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday, it's 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then Friday to Saturday, it's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we have pamphlets in the back with those celebrations as well. Thank you all so much.
Celebration from 11 to 6, Monday through Friday, 12 to 5 on Saturday. However, I would be, and I'm so used to doing everything on my own. It's another thing about Black-owned businesses. A lot of time, you're talking to the CEO, the maintenance guy, you're talking to me. Time you walk in the door and say, hello, spoken to the whole staff. There's a lot. And that one person that said, hello, how are you today? So, so used to doing everything on my own that I would just be so sorry and regretful if I did not mention. I partnered with Park Heights Community Health Alliance, who this nice building that we've probably all seen a million times and never knew what they do inside of that building. It's also another health and wellness member of the community that does a lot of things with yoga and stretching and all that kind of stuff as well, deals with mental health and wellness. So partnering with them is how I was capable of giving these shirts away. Again, your Black-owned businesses, your small businesses, we don't have that Porsche in the driveway or summer home in Florida. We're not trying to get you guys to pay for all the food to get around. We're literally paying for our kids to go to school with the business that we're driving. So please understand, we're not begging for your dollars. We're literally dying for your dollars. Because we're trying to pay that BG&E that she's talking about. And be able to pay for our kids' student loans and stuff like that. So with that being said, also, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be hosting a absolutely free stretch bands for beginners class, literally right here at PHCHA, location 4151 Park Heights Avenue. Once again, that's absolutely free stretch band resistance class. Anybody that's got a few eyes looking like, what are you talking about? So it's called Mindful Muscle Movement and Motivation. So what I'm literally trying to do is just get those of us who have been sitting too long, those of us who haven't used our arms, haven't used our legs in a while. I'm just going to get you moving. I want to have you doing stretch classes with bands. We're not doing any muscle, any weight class. We're not lifting weights. We're not going to be doing any Zumba. We're just going to come in, get to know each other, stretch, do some stretch band work where we're going to get those muscles woken back up so that you'll have the opportunity to feel that addiction and that aggression back into your health. 4151 Park Heights Avenue, tomorrow starting at 6 to 7:15 p.m. And that's going to be, it's right up here, right across the street from Halal Restaurant, the old Halal Restaurant. And once again, this is going to be, it's free, it's donation based, but it's absolutely free. Please register. There's a flyer in every bag. When you get a free shirt, you'll get a flyer for that as well. But please feel free to register for that. Thank you.
So I'm gonna tie that in. You see how selfish he was? He didn't talk about his business, but I want to know, can we wear Duke boys apparel tomorrow? Or do yourself a big apparel for tomorrow? And when we stretch, can we wear the apparel that we get from at the bag tomorrow as a stretch?
Absolutely. I've literally taken the time and the initiative to start selling workout clothes and workout apparel as well to try to, it's just an initiative that I've just gotten into myself. So I know that there's a lot of us who just have gotten used to just not really lifting all day and all that kind of stuff. So now that I'm back into feeling healthy and feeling great, I will be feeling really regretful if I allow my community to walk by and be in bad health. We can get up, we can jog, we can lift, we can do all these things because we have to. Now it's time to do these things because we want to, and we want to give longevity to our lives. So yes, you can absolutely wear Duke Boys apparel for all matters. I have church wear, I have bar mitzvah wear, I have everything. I got United Club wear, everything. I got something for you. I have Duke Boys apparel at exclusively at the bag 3609 West Rogers Avenue.
My hours of operation, Sunday and Monday, 12 to 6 p.m. We have a thing called $12 Mondays on Mondays. We have a bunch of dishes that we discounted and we make $12 on Mondays. Tuesday through Thursday, we open from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Sunday.
So Sundays is 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. We have a lot of companies for that.
The Park Coffee hours, our address is 5318 and a half Park Heights. Baltimore, Maryland, 21215, and the hours of operation is on Monday from 7 to 4, and then Friday and Saturday 7 to 5, and we close at Sunday. Friday from visit church.
Someone asked, could you repeat the hours once more?
From 7 to 4, Monday to Thursday, and 7 to 5, Saturday, Friday and Saturday.
And on Sunday you rest.
Yes, Sunday, thank God.
All right, just to remind you all,
There is more delicious food. Please, partake. Deron is gonna open up the fruit salad. And there's tea, there's coffee, there are Caribbean snacks in the back. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Robin for our community events. But before I do, We have an outstanding member of our community here tonight, the one and the only Delegate Malcolm Brown.
You just. Wait,
Delegate Brown,
oh, so this is. part of
this
your-
right corner square, this on the beach, those are the program.
Bar Heights, good evening, Bar Heights. Now, y'all can do way better than that. I thought I was in the 21215. Good evening, Bar Heights. I'm Delegate Malcolm P. Ruff, Esquire, Maryland State Delegate for the 41st District. And as some of you know, I grew up right in the 2500 block of Keyworth. Everett, I know you up on 2400 of Shirley, right? Where's Everett? Is Everett here? No. All right, he's done. All right. So I want to say, number one, I'm very proud of everybody that was up here. And number one, proud of PHR for being such a beautiful anchor institution and supporting our Black film businesses and making sure we highlight and understand how much we have to support them. I personally, some of you might know, I host a community Juneteenth festival every year for the past 2 years since I've been a member of the Maryland House of Delegates. And I have had the honor of having Chef Devron be my caterer every single year. He has set it off and set it out in the community. This year I didn't get no food, and y'all can tell I like to eat. Randy, you got some food. I didn't even get to eat this year because that's how smacking it is and jumping out the pot. So I want to encourage you all, just like everyone else has so far, to make sure we're intentional about supporting our businesses. And one of the main reasons why that's so important has to do with the Pimlico redevelopment bill. When we got that bill in the House of Delegates in the House session of 2024, there was $0 in that bill for the community. $400 million to the Maryland Stadium Authority to renovate the entire racetrack, everything within the fence, but no money for the community. Not $1. Could not let that stand growing up in the shadow of Pimlico Racetrack. Could not let that stand. So I'm putting an amendment on the bill. And it's important that everyone knows about this because it's important that we continue to enhance what has happened to that bill, right? We already know tomorrow we're going to tear down the relic of Pimlico Racetrack and start a brand new day in this whole new heights, right? But along with that redevelopment of Pimlico Racetrack, because of the amendment that I put on the bill, which people said, if you put this amendment on this bill, we will no longer have a thoroughbred racing.
13 chairs. Step for record, so you can see that right response. The 14 chairs.
Community benefits plan that is the redevelopment
Just put a chair something in the door.
which specifically has to address community commercial revitalization. Community development. There is a Pimlico, Ms. Wiseman, is that right? There is a Pimlico area workbook. Right now, it exists. It was something that we last summer spent painstaking hours making sure that every single community within the Park Heights Master Plan and the 1 mile radius inputted what projects were necessary to ensure the revitalization of the areas around the racetrack simultaneously with the redevelopment of Pimlico Racetrack. So I want you all to look into it. I want you all to look at those projects in the Pimlico area workbook and make sure that we have fulsome representation of every single business, Black-owned business, white-owned business, grape-owned business, whatever color you are. We need to ensure that we are representing Park Heights and ensuring that our business districts remain vital and only continue to grow and flourish so that we can get to the place where back in the day when everybody was eating. Everybody got to eat. And that's what I'm about, making sure that we all are going to thrive and grow in this bold new height. So thank you all very much. I very much appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to be a part of this wonderful gathering for Black-owned businesses. I'm Delegate Ruff. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Delegate Rob. Now we'll have the illustrious Robin Singletary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was a great lead in, Delegate Ruff. I'm not nervous anymore. But first I want to do a little icebreaker. We've heard a lot of great information, a lot of support for businesses. What's the one thing that Park Heights Renaissance says? What's the phrase that we have coined? Does anybody know? Go ahead. You say it. I hear you. That's it. That's it. Collaboration over competition. In case you didn't know, that's what Park Heights is all about. You've heard it up here. You hear it just by sitting here. So can you bring up the next slide? So it is my esteemed pleasure and honor to invite you to the Impact Gala. This is Park Heights Renaissance signature fundraising event that we celebrate the growth, the resilience, the impact over the previous years to be able to get everyone together and show what that collaboration means, show what that collaboration does. Like we talked about the Hunter redevelopment, I'm sorry. The revitalization of Park Heights. We all have a part in that. Every business, every organization, every civic leader all has a part in making that happen. So the Impact Gala is a celebration of that. And in addition to being a celebration, it is also a call to action. So we get together, we dance, we have a good time, we look good. We're gonna have a 360 booth, so you'll be able to take some pictures at the same time. We also want you to support us through sponsorship, support us through donations, support us through giving to our silent auction. We have a lot of different ways, a lot of options. So we have some invitations we want to share with you. And let me not forget to mention that this Impact Gala is 100% free to attend. But again, you flip that card over and there are 4 different ways to donate. There are 4 different ways to support PHR. We support through our volunteering. We support by our footsteps, by being here tonight. So please take a look at it, scan the QR code to learn a little bit more. But we invite you to the Impact Gala, which will be September 27th, 2005 at the Doubletree Hilton in Pikesville. Oh, and please RSVP, it's coming up September 1st. I know it's a quick turnaround, but it's enough time to still get your outfits, whether it's back and over or you're good. Yep. And in case for the people online, if you want to screenshot, reserve your seat, and ways to make a donation. Next. I just know the legs. Right, it's okay if you're moving around and everything like that. We just have a few more things we want to bring up, and we have a few people that are going to be sharing information on those events. And I just want to say to be mindful while you're moving. Our virtual audience can hear it as well, so just please be mindful of the sounds that you're making. So if we could quiet everyone down, please, thank you. I'm not a teacher, so I don't know. Okay, we can move on to the upcoming events. Go through them. The curb appeal contest. So if you were at our last committee meeting, we have brought this up and we're actually extending the deadline to the end of September to participate in the curb appeal contest. This is our effort to beautify our community, to beautify our neighborhoods. So we're taking before and after pictures of our community, of our front lawn. Take for instance, my front lawn, I do not have a green thumb. I could have put some pictures of that there, so no one has to feel embarrassed. But please take a picture of the front of your lawn, and then, I'm sorry, take a picture of your lawn. And then after you do some beautification in terms of planting flowers, you could be replacing the bricks on your front lawn, fixing your pathway, mowing your grass. You know, again, that's all in efforts. When we feel that we're in a beautiful environment, when we walk down the streets and we can say hello to our neighbors, it makes us feel safer. It helps us to thrive. And to participate in that contest, you can take a picture, send it to us at info@phrmd.org, or you can tag us on Instagram or Facebook, and those will come up to our info. The Park Heights back to school bash. Do we have someone here that would like to speak to Unify for the culture, or I'm sorry, for the future? No, thank you. Okay, we have some flyers to pass out, so back to school bash, which is August 23rd. Yes.
It's Saturday.
Hey folks, we need your attention for about 5 more minutes. We are moving the rest up and are definitely gonna make sure that you get the delicious treats that they have for you. We're just going through the community events that to close out our meeting. We don't want you to miss the opportunity for you to support the community and get back to school stuff and all the other good stuff before you leave. So just you can keep the voices down, but you still have folks online trying to hear as well. Hello, hello. If you can keep these voices down for just 5 more minutes, you can talk to your heart is content. Thank you.
Literally 5 minutes, because we will be over at 8:00. We awesome. For 5 minutes. Okay, on to the next. Another back to school. So if you have children, there are plenty of back to school opportunities for book bags. This one is on Sunday, the 24th. This is the Emily Wall Foundation. From the City Federal to Future Career Transition Expo, which is on Tuesday, August 26th. We Rise and Chase Bank have gotten together to have the Financial Education Summit. A lot of us have talked about the businesses and what we're doing and what we're trying to take care of our homes, sending kids to college. There are 2 different workshops on August 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Financial goal setting, saving and budgeting, and 7:15 credit workshop. So you can scan these QR codes and also visit the link. Again, these are on our social media pages and Facebook, Instagram pages if you need to get the link directly. Another back to school community cookout and backpack giveaway by neighborhood engagement and safety tour. This is on August 30th. FanFest Fridays, there is one more, oh no, I'm sorry. There are 2 more Fridays left in August to participate. This is from Dominion Community Development Corporation. And this is where the family gets together over food and fun to end out your summer. So come on out on Fridays, the 22nd and the 29th from 4 to 8 p.m. Community Connection Resource Fair, Wednesday, September 17th. You'll see all the information here. And last but not least, the Community Entrepreneur Day at Gillis Memorial Church. I believe this is the 3rd or 4th one that they have done, and they've all been successful. If you recognize anyone in these pictures, a lot of them are right here in Farmington. And this is on September 16th.
Yes. Anything about the ground rating over there?
So, what's the date? The 27th?
Yes.
27th. Okay, no, Wednesday. Next Wednesday, on the 27th at 3 p.m. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, okay, before we dive again, next Wednesday, August 27th, 3 p.m., there will be a groundbreaking ceremony for our new library. So, we're gonna make sure we share that information, you'll get the robocalls with PHR, we'll still send it out, but we officially want to let you know that all the Park Heights should show up. Yes. This is recorded, right, man, this is gonna kill me. But next Wednesday, 3 p.m. on the library, be at the 4800 block of Park Heights, let's celebrate, it's finally coming.
Let me do this one real quick. Say a Lord.
Janelle, you wanna close this out? Yeah. Janelle's gonna close this out.
So should I?
People know it. Are there any community comments from the audience?
There we go. Let's go.
You say it. I'm gonna repeat it. Okay, so we have a representative from family, but before the beautiful lady comes to speak, at your table, there is a sign-in sheet. There is a prize for each person at that table for the first hand that I see raised with a completed sign-in sheet for your table. Oh, I see that in there. There is a survey on your table as well. That survey is for us to decide the next days that we are going to have our community meeting, because they will no longer be on Wednesdays, and we need your input. Folks online, you're gonna get a digital version of the survey. The folks in the room, for the table that has the highest number of completed surveys at your table, I need you to raise your hand to let me know. No, okay, one moment. Okay, and the person who raised their hand, you also get that green index on your table. So I see two hands, and I'm gonna come to your table. But family league, I need you to come on up. The family league announcement will be the last announcement, and then we're gonna encourage everybody to take snacks and food home.
Where's the family league one? There it is. There it is.
You all hear me?
Okay, so I'm Lauren Ramsey. I am working with the Family League of Baltimore to engage the community in a series of community conversations to learn more about life in Baltimore. The highs, the lows, the strengths, and areas of improvement. So we're hosting virtual focus groups next week.
So look here. Y'all have an opportunity to make some money, so you want to listen close.
So, you'll focus groups over Zoom, and if you're eligible, you will participate in a 90-minute conversation with other residents and yourself, and you will get a $70 gift after completion of the focus group community conversation. So I have flyers here, my colleague, Dr. Elliott, she has flyers we can pass them. You can contact me at the number on the flyer or scan the QR code, and it'll take you to a short survey with we'll answer your contact information, and we'll be in touch with you to schedule a virtual focus. So, thank you all. If you have any questions, I'm around. Thank you.
So much. There's also a digital version for that family league survey. So the folks online, we're going to be emailing it out to your community groups. So look for that survey so you too can partake in the $70. This concludes the Park Heights Renaissance Community Meeting for the month of August. Thank you for the for our community meeting. We need your input. If you don't vote, we won't know when to have the next meeting. So we need your vote. Thank you all for joining us. Have a beautiful night. The next time you come in person, make taste some delicious food.
Okay. Wait, I can't. You have to.
Hello, everybody. Y'all look so beautiful. Hey, Tabia. Hey, Nicole.
Hello.
Hey, Nelly.
Hey.
Hey, people.
Stuff in
Baby.
my face.
All righty. I'm shutting it
Thank
down.
you.
Have a beautiful evening,
Have a good
everybody.
one. Take care.
Just I
Thank
can
you.
figure out how to shut it down.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Nicole.